All right, welcome everyone to the Pryor Creek Rec Center Board regular meeting, Monday, January 10th, 2022. We'll call the meeting to order. Item number 2, approve minutes for December 6, 2021 regular meeting. Those have been provided for you.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the December 6th meeting as presented.
Well, I wasn't here. I better look and see what y'all did. I have a motion.
I have a second on that.
A motion made by Mr. Riff, second by Mr. Holmes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Item passes. Item number 3, petitions from the audience. We have a huge audience tonight. Steve! Thanks for coming out, sir. All right, number 4, we'll just get right to the point. Jess, Director's Report.
All right. I don't have much under facility repair maintenance, except to let you know they did start on the roof this week, so they're up there and they're currently just getting all of that foam board placed in between, I don't know what you call those things, but in between all of the steel, so it'll be one flat surface. So that's what they're working on right now. And I think maybe something they're doing up there caused one of the AC unit, or one of the drainage, we have a drainage thing that comes down from up there and comes into Jesse's little storage closet behind the front desk, and
It's condensate drain.
okay, it leaked this week and stuff went out. It looked like stuff from plumbing, but it wasn't. So luckily it was just, and so anyway, the Vivians were real good to get a hold of me. BJ called me this weekend, but he came out and looked at it today and said that's normal. It just kind of got clogged up and shot all that debris and stuff out. So, and then we do, after we get the roof done, we probably need to look at there being a possible leak in the pool, which we talked about this, I think about this time last year. So I don't know if maybe this has something to do with the ground getting hard, or I don't know, but the pit that holds water in the pool room is losing, and Jackie's given me all the measurements, but I mean, it's losing a significant amount of water in 24 hours. I mean, that's quite a bit in that big pit. So we need to kind of tackle that. I don't know exactly what the problem-solving procedure will be on that. But I know in the past we looked at, or last year we looked at bringing somebody out like with the sonar type thing to try to figure out exactly, but we didn't go through with it. And I think it was because it stopped leaking. So I don't know if it has something to do with the ground in the winter.
Could be the expansion because of the cold.
Yeah, I don't know. So, because it's weird that it was about this time last year and then it quit and then now it started back up again.
So, just my opinion, I think if we have a firm that we can call and that can investigate that, we probably should do that.
Okay.
I mean, the investment that we have there is substantial, so we want to try to protect it.
Okay. I don't know who that would be, so I'll get with you and
Okay.
get some direction on that, because I'm not even sure where to start. Okay, and then financial report, I'm sure the mayor has his. I'll go ahead and hand mine out, and then this is what we got on the direct track. You'll notice we had a pretty good increase in membership, but because of the decrease in our pool parties, and seems like there was something else. So it ended up being less. We ended up being right around just a couple $100 more than last month. So there's a couple things. I like this report because I'm able to look at it and say, okay, why didn't the swim team pay? So I checked today, they paid January 3rd. So we're actually probably gonna have 2 show up in January for them. And I know that personal training fee is supposed to be $100 or $150. So noticed a couple personal trainers haven't paid, and so I actually created invoices for them today. So this is good to kind of track where we're missing money.
Yeah, your swim lessons went way down.
Swim lessons went down because she does group, so we always will have a bigger month at the beginning of the 6 weeks, and then as those group lessons go on, we're not getting any more money until the next round, which will start, I think, mid-January. Late January, she'll start them again, so we'll get more money in then.
Your locker rental went up.
Do what?
Your locker rental went
Yes.
up.
That has been a chore, but this doesn't show is all the people who opted to put the locker rental on their auto pay, and it won't show that on here, but we are also getting quite a bit of lockers being paid for through the auto withdrawal too. So we've definitely we're getting more money through that finally. Do you want to, yeah, Mr. Say, you may have more on yours.
Mine's a lot more boring than yours is, though. So when you, when you look at Jessica's report that she handed to you, and then you look at page 57 in the pages that I gave to you, some of those numbers will be close. For instance, on the locker rentals, you can see item 4563 there, that $375 is exactly what she reported there. Also, the child watch, the guest pass is a little bit different for one reason or another. I'm not sure why, but a lot of those numbers will be will be the same. Showing you sales tax that came into the rec center this month, or that was reported. Actually, that would have been reported December 31st. Excuse me. On the page previous to that, page 56, you can see that the fund is still healthy. $1.2 million is there. The fund balance $1.3 million, but there are some encumbrances against that. You look over to I'll fly through, so if you have questions, fire away.
I don't think we got that page.
Fire away, Darren.
We got a couple of blanks.
On the back. Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
my bad.
It's all right.
I didn't look
Yeah,
at
we can
those
listen.
pages that were given to you. Which page, what are the page
Here,
numbers on the
guys.
bottom?
We don't have 56.
that one.
We got 57 and 59,
Oh, it
You have
does?
57
and 59.
and you have 59. Okay.
No, I don't
You
have
don't
the other
have-
sheet either.
You don't have 58 either.
No.
I can give you some information about 58.
Yeah, this-
What I do is, the percentages that are on the right-hand side, I go down through there, and if those seem to be a little off, then that alarms me, and I go look at those. Our overtime hours were a little above what we had budgeted for. That's not a good or a bad thing necessarily. I just noticed that. I'm not saying you're spending too much overtime.
That's a hard one.
It is very hard to budget that, it really is. Our computer tech support is kind of right on budget, right on schedule. Repair and maintenance, which you're not looking at page 58 there, so the repair and maintenance is a fund is a line item where our roof maintenance will come out of. We've spent a grand total of about 6.8% of that $482,000 this month, or this year. So we'll be spending out of that line item to pay for our roof repairs. On page 59, which is the page you do have, the aquatic repair and maintenance, we budgeted $50,000 just in anticipation of perhaps repairs. Okay, so we've spent about 3.8% of that, very little. But that would be the fund that you would take that study from, that we're going to have to come out and try to advise us about how the water is escaping. So you see the child watch there, and you also see the fitness items. There's not anything in there that has alarmed me about any of those numbers. Also, you don't have page 60, do you? Okay. Page 60, there's only one item on that, and that is net revenue over expenditures. For the year, we are in the red. The net revenue over expenditures, it's in the red, $42,000. That will be because of the awning that was erected, and part of that came out of reserves. For the month of December, we showed $33,500 in the black. So that's just the way the numbers came out. I really like this report, Jessica. That gives, and that's a result of the new computer system that we have. It allows us to be a lot more on top of it day by day. Y'all have any questions for me?
Yeah, I was just curious about the sales tax. Is it 51,804? How'd that compare to last month? You remember?
Pretty much right around that 50 to 53 on an annual basis.
So our normal sales tax is gonna be right in the 50s or so. Most of the time, it's gonna hover right around there. Sometimes it's gonna be a little more. It's a percentage of what the totals are.
Yeah.
You know, so for the year, our sales tax, total city sales tax receipts are up about 3%. Last year, they were pretty flat. They are kind of growing a little bit, and as long as we're growing a little bit, that's good. But yeah, it kind of has been hovering around that $50,000 a month.
Okay.
I would say in the next couple of years, if everything going on proceeds, we could see that increase dramatically.
There's business minds in the room see a lot of potential. I see a lot of potential. We build rooftops. Retail comes when we build rooftops.
We're gonna get so big, we're gonna have to expand.
Step at a time.
We gotta get the new equipment first.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Let's see, Aquatics report. Swim party total from December is the same as it was, actually for November, 11 public and 3 private. The money was down, so she may have reported that wrong. Maybe she didn't change her December numbers. For the year though, for year ending, she's reporting 202 private lessons that she did, which was a little over 13,000, 36 group lessons. So she's brought in $15,000 for the end of the year for just on swim lessons alone. So that's definitely a revenue stream that we did not have before Jackie. So very excited to see that continue. As far as the pool goes, she has the Pryor baseball team in there right now. They're coming in 2 days a week for conditioning. They came in the first day, and I was like, "Don't puke, boys," and 3 of them puked. So Kim's working them out hard. And now that they're doing it, word has spread, and Melissa Harlow wants to bring the cross-country team in. So that is more revenue for us. We give them a deal, but the school does pay us for that. So we will take any of them that want to come. Jackie does have a good plan for the year. She's trying to get one event in the pool every quarter. So she's looking at this first quarter next month. She has like swim with a mermaid. So basically, we have mermaids that come in the full suit.
Oh my gosh.
If you've never seen it, it's really kind of cool. And they swim and they go underwater, and the kids are just amazed when they're in there practicing. So now they're going to be able to come and pay like $5, and then the mermaids are giving us a really good discount because it's good publicity for them for parties and things. So it's going to be a little revenue, and it's going to be fun for the kids. So
who's the mermaid?
I don't know their names, but I recognize them.
Rebecca.
And they come in with they're trained mermaids, and they come in with a backpack with the mermaid. Yeah, it's very legit.
Wow.
It's a legit business, so they do a really good job. And then
That would be cool.
second quarter, she's doing the Easter egg hunt in the pool again, which was a blast last year, where they come in and hunt for Easter eggs. Third quarter, she's doing a glow party, which she said was really popular when she did that last time she worked here. And then fourth quarter, she's got plans for some kind of luau. I'm not really sure what that is, but it'll be fun. That'll give the kids something to look forward to. I don't really have anything under personnel. I do have the miscellaneous report. We had 150 new members last month, which I think was a little bit of an increase from November. And then I do have a reconciliation report here, just so you guys can see for the year, kind of how we did. This is another rec track report. And I've
have a full year under your
and
belt.
have a full year, just see kind of how that changes. So you can see we've gone from kind of retaining in the 70s to we're up retaining in the 80s, which would be kind of my goal to stay above 80% if at all possible. So now Jess is going through right now, sometimes Rec Track is not user-friendly. So everybody who signed up last year on an auto policy or auto membership, we have to manually go in and pull up their account and renew them for another year, which is kind of a hassle. But it's allowing us to clean up a lot of people. So like today, I think we ended up canceling 3 or 4 because they haven't paid, or their card's been declined for like 6 or 7 months and they have a $200-something balance. So we know they're no longer a member. So we've had to cancel some people today. But it'll be a good way for us to clean up the system every year too. So do you have any questions about that report? Some of our challenges, we finished up Maintain, Don't Gain. We had 76 sign up. We had 107 that maintained, but we had, out of those 107, we had over 351 pounds that were lost. So I was super impressed with that. Rebecca's daughter is one of them that I think she was the most,
She the top,
she was 19 point something.
19.8.
19.8, so almost 20 pounds. So that
Yes.
was impressive. There was a 12 and an 11, but I think Courtney was the highest. So we were proud of her.
Goodness, how'd she do that?
She's been working
Very
really hard,
Nutrition and,
nutrition and exercise.
yeah,
Yeah.
doing a really good job.
Boy.
So I ordered those T-shirts so that they'll all get a free T-shirt, and those should be in next week or end of this week possibly. They're printing Wednesday. We did the Elf on the Shelf challenge, which we thought would be so silly, but
Amazing.
I think Brittany loved it more.
I'm telling
She's like, I want to do it.
everybody, you go in the gym in the morning, everybody's walking around. Look like they're in a daze. I'm like, what are you doing? We're looking for that stupid elf.
And Brittany was so serious. She wouldn't give a
tell her.
hint. She would whisper if she had to tell me where it was so that I would know if I was covering the front. And so then I would, I'd be like, you're hot, you're cold. But if Brittany caught you.
Oh, no, I asked her one day because no one could find it. It was in the pool or something.
Yeah, in the bottom of the pool, I think, yeah.
And I said, okay, I give up, Brittany. Where is the elf? And she's like, well, I can't tell you.
It was cute.
I'll show you tomorrow.
But we had 96 people participate in that challenge, which is crazy. We had over 354 entries. And then Robert Mobbs won. He had 21 entries, and he got a shaker bottle, 4 guest passes, and 4 family swim passes. Sarah Kaufman won a T-shirt and a month's membership, and then Jordan Elmiger won a sweatshirt. So anyway,
I
that was
think
fun.
you should do one for like Easter. Find the bunny.
Well, they did talk about eggs, doing an egg hunt in Easter's where you have to find the egg.
We said you could do a Cupid.
Yeah. Keep it on a shelf. Or in the
Anyway,
pool.
you never
Or in
know
the
what's
pool.
gonna work.
No, don't. It drives me crazy.
The other classes that I wanted to mention, we did add HIT classes, Tuesdays and Thursdays in the morning. Kim and Kelsey are rotating teaching that one, and then 4:30 p.m. Jerome is teaching that one. We haven't had very many, we haven't had any show up for Jerome, but I think we've got to get the word out. But the morning class, we've got some moms coming, and so there's 4 to 6 in there. And then Kim has added back a spin class on Friday morning, so that's popular. Sometimes you can't get a bike if you don't get in there in time. In February, they're doing an English Channel swim challenge. So if you're a swimmer, you keep track of your laps that you swim, and the goal is for you to be able to swim the distance of the English Channel, which is 21 miles. So that will be challenging, but we haven't really done anything for our lap swimmers, so we're kind of excited about that. And then Kelsey also has another dodgeball tournament scheduled for February 12th as a little fundraiser. And then March will be Debbie's basketball tournament, but we're waiting to get all the equipment done before we start planning that one. Let's see. So speaking of the equipment, I may be calling on, I don't really, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure how this is all gonna go. So the equipment that's being auctioned right now are old equipment. It came to our attention today that they've included plates in the description, like they're getting the machine and the plates, and they're not getting the plates.
Yeah.
So I called Purple Wave today, and that's on them because I told them the plates were not included. But I guess because the picture they took had plates on the machine, they just started listing all the plates that they were gonna get. So they immediately removed it. They're contacting all the highest bidders to let them know plates are not included, and asking what the new highest bid would be. And so the bids may change. We may lose a little bit of money, but it's okay. So this week, we're supposed to be receiving our new plates. I've talked to Buddy, and he's gonna bring a skid steer over to help us get those, and then Frank is gonna bring, a big dolly so that we can kinda get those brought inside. Then next week, we have half of the equipment's coming from Hammer Strength, the other half is coming from Live Fitness. So they're arriving and they're being assembled and put together by two different teams, two different times. So it's gonna be a little, which may be a good thing because we're not holding up the weight room. I just don't know, because I can't plan until I know when, and they don't know. So, because of the way the delivery and shipments are right now. So, they said they'd give me a few days, so our plan is, depending on what equipment is coming, we're gonna need to get those pieces out. If they're going to fire and police, BK said they would come get them and get them to storage, for us. If they're auction items, then they'll just sit maybe in the corner of the gym or something until they get picked up. But we are gonna have to have time for the team to come in and assemble the new equipment. So I don't know what your thoughts are on, do we close the whole weight room floor? Do we do it, like, I don't think that they're gonna be able to do it overnight. But maybe once I find out when they're coming, I just announce the weight room's gonna be closed from 2 o'clock on.
Houston, is there any way that we could, maybe get ahead of the game, to find out when the shipment would arrive? I mean,
Have they said, I mean, do they have a tracking or anything?
He doesn't know yet. He said they've just given him like the week of the 20th,
Okay.
which I was like, well, the 20th, I think it's a Thursday. And I said, so you're talking later that week? And he
so
said it could
has-
be any
hasn't
time that week.
It hasn't shipped yet, so once it ships, there should be a way to track
Should
it.
be.
There should be, and that's why he said he
Yeah.
could give me a few days.
It should be a
So-
20% when it's gonna show
So
up.
Jess, can we not have a crew come in at night and do that, or,
So I don't know if they'll do it.
so that company is
That
the one that's
company-
gonna move everything and,
We have to move everything out, but they will bring everything in and assemble it and get it ready.
okay.
So once I know they're coming and what time they're gonna be there, then I can figure out the manpower that we need and the
To get it
timing that we need to
out.
get it out.
It's my opinion, I think if that all comes together the way it should, it would probably be safer to close that weight floor down so you don't have patrons running around out there while you're
Oh,
trying to,
wow.
and it becomes a liability.
Yeah.
But would you guys agree with that?
Absolutely.
And so if we can just shut it down and say, and it's a small price to pay for
I
all of this
know.
brand new equipment you're about to get, so.
I just hate that it's gonna be two separate times, but it might be better because it might be two separate shorter times versus,
Versus a longer period.
so maybe I go ahead and get something out to the members and let them know this is coming and we don't have dates and times, but
Yeah, if you warn them now, and say,
Yeah,
hey,
let
we're
'em
about to
know.
replace all this equipment, everybody knows.
It'll be
because
worth
we'll
it. I mean,
Broadcast
yeah.
it that we're getting it, because everybody asks.
Right.
Every morning,
right,
hey, when we getting that equipment?
yeah.
Probably about December, 'cause everything's short.
Well, and they may not like it at first either. They're gonna have to get used to it.
And I'm
But it is all
assuming
the same
whoever comes
pieces.
in and assembles it, they're not gonna have to wanna walk around patrons or
Right.
anybody.
Okay,
It'd just be better if they have a clean slate to go
Okay.
in and set it up. That way you can decide where you want that equipment. Maybe you wanna rearrange the whole floor to look something different,
yeah, it
you
could
know?
be. And that's the hard part about one of it coming in before the other is,
Is there a cleaning component after you take the old equipment out?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe just that section of the floor, but
That'll be,
it shouldn't be an issue. Now, we are gonna work with Brian Moody to quickly come in, once that's out, to quickly come in with the scissor lift and get up and clean that fan while there's nothing in there.
Yeah.
Because it hasn't probably been cleaned and
Ooh, it needs it.
it needs it bad. So we're gonna try
If you
to,
get upstairs and walk on that track,
it looks bad,
you see it.
yeah. So we're gonna try to coordinate with him if it's possible, and I think we could, I mean, that won't take that long, but just get him to run that thing in there real fast and get that clean for us.
It's gonna be exciting to have all that new equipment.
Well, it'll
is.
look nice and so, but just heads up, I know we're gonna upset some people, but it'll be worth it, I think.
So for the most part, has a lot of the equipment been bid on? I mean, is there bids for everything so far?
High
Really?
Is it still available or is it already
It's
sold?
available through tomorrow.
Through tomorrow?
And the bidding may change now, but, and I don't know if that's why it's so high, because they think they're getting plates, but, I mean, it's silly high.
I saw those pictures and I wondered about that.
Like one machine, the Smith machine, or one of them's $1,100, which to me is kind of crazy, but maybe not.
So will that money be applied back to offset this expense? And
That's
to-
what I was
Oh, yeah.
wondering. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Just applies it as a credit back to
you bet. So,
that particular GL?
correct,
Okay.
correct. That'll come back and credit that line item.
Okay.
It'll credit that line item.
Cool.
It'll show as income.
Okay. And there is a surplus he found, or even, somebody found a surplus, you did, I think, a surplus,
GL line item.
like a line item. Yeah, we were gonna have to maybe create one, but we found one. So that's where the last Purple Wave deposits went into that, and so then we'll add all this into it as well.
So when it goes into that surplus, how are you able to obtain that to use for other things? Or is it just rebudgeted the next year to put into it?
No, it just, it just goes into the, goes into the surplus line item. I don't know if Eva will, I don't know how she'll do the accounting in the budget. It really won't show in the budget. But it stays in the rec. It stays in the rec. It doesn't go anywhere else. So,
Maybe it could be used at a later time for more,
There are a couple, like I noticed,
like for maybe some smaller equipment, you could use that surplus to buy.
yeah, well, we forgot the stand-up hamstring machine. I forgot to order that, so that's something I'll have to buy later and replace that one, which is not a big deal, but I don't know how we missed that. And it may be that we just don't do that one, but I feel like that one is used quite a bit, so I'm afraid people would miss it if we got rid of it. And that was my biggest thing, is I didn't want to get rid of, I want to replace everything that we have with the same thing or something similar, so that, and then just add a couple pieces, so. And then the only other thing I have is, the grant app came out for this year for the fitness court. And so I'm working on that. I'm gonna try to get that, I need to get it submitted by Friday of this week. And we were contacted by a potential sponsor for a partnership for that. So we have life in that project again. It's very exciting. So, I should be able to let you know.
we're kind of at the point where we're really excited about that, but we're not going to speak who it is.
Right. I would love to, well,
Good.
Terry's not here, but I would love to share, but,
It's Britain Farms.
be great. But it could be, it sounds very, very, very promising.
That's awesome.
Very promising. So, I can't wait to share. So as soon as I have confirmation and get approval to share, you guys are gonna be the first to know.
So as far as, we had applied for the grant last year and that was existing, but was there a time frame as to when it could be used? Or
Yeah,
does she have
so-
to reapply now?
Yeah, so what happened is when we didn't get, confirmation from Cherokee Nation by November 15th, they gave our 30,000 to other grantees that were, missed the deadline or whatever, and who had the money and was ready to move forward with the project. So he did tell me that we're a shoo-in for this year's grant. Do we have to go
So
back to the city?
That's exactly what I was getting ready to.
Yeah, in new budget year.
Okay, but if we can get it done before the end of June, it's still in this budget?
Yeah.
Okay, so hopefully,
Yeah,
and that's my plan, is to get it done before,
So then you wouldn't have to go back through and have
Right.
to ask for the matching.
right.
Nice.
So that's kind of that's my goal, is to get it done before. I mean, once we have word from them, and I mean, we can immediately get things ordered. And I mean, it only takes, I mean, it's very possible to have it by summer. So if we don't get stuck in a 10-month waiting period again, but I don't think we will. I think the money's there, so I think now it's, be ready to move forward with it.
I've heard lots of good comments about the awning.
I know, it's
You know,
nice. Yeah, I have
I'm
to.
thinking now we need to close it in, make it a little warmer.
Put a heater out there.
I think we need one on the employee side over there. I was like sprinting last week in the cold rain. But yeah, I have too. I've heard a lot of comments, and we've had a lot of positive feedback. I mean, there's a lot of people in the building, but the staff's doing a good job keeping everything clean. And my only issue right now is dealing with people who are trying to come in and practice in the gym when they've been told multiple times you cannot practice in the gym. And then 6 or 7 kids get dropped off and like, we're here for practice. And the coach is like, no, we're shooting. Remember, we're just shooting. And then they go in there and practice. And then I have to call them and tell them they can't practice. And then they tell me they're just gonna shoot. So I made another phone call today and told them they aren't allowed, because I'm starting to get calls from people I've told no. So if we had more space, if we could expand and we had a gym that we could just rent out, we would keep it full, I think, all the time. But we're not quite there yet, so that's something to think about. Any other questions?
Doing a wonderful job, Jess.
You bet.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Appreciate you. Appreciate the, for me, the most important thing is the communication and transparency. You know, so, very in-depth report, so thank you very much.
Terry did ask me to email it to me, so it'll still be in the paper.
Oh, no, Terry, you should have been here.
No, he's probably going to some kind of a, like college championship,
He's
football.
probably watching the national championship game.
I'll tell you, I'm watching the clock.
Yeah. Well, let's hang around for a little bit, because Dick, you know, he kind of loves
I
sitting
kinda
and
like that
chatting.
football.
All right, thank you very much, Jess. All right, item number 5, any unforeseen business to be brought before the council, our board? Okay, seeing none. Item number 6, adjourn. May I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Mr. Holmes. Need a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Riff. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you guys very much for your
You bet.
service.